Salute, Knicks Nation. Well, we made it to All-Star break. Here we are. We limped over the line, but the New York Knicks are going to get help on the other side of the All-Star break. We're going to talk about this game tonight where the Knicks fought hard. In the first quarter, they opened up a huge lead, but unfortunately, man, we ran out of bodies. The bench was terrible in the second quarter, and we gave up a huge lead and just could not recover after that. But Achiuwa Brunson showed out again, worked his tail off, 33 points. Precious Achiuwa was huge with his season high, 23 points. Huge on the offensive glass again. We've got some news, injury front, see who's back after All-Star break. What should we do with these open roster spots, man? Let's talk about it. Knicks Nation, salute to the chat and salute Replay Squad. Man, we go to 33-22 now on the season. As we see tonight, we'll look at the standings. Philadelphia, they're trailing the Miami Heat. So if they lose tonight, we'll still be in the 4th seed. Right, barely, but we limp over the line. Like I said, we need to get people back, right? What we're seeing ain't the finished product. It ain't even close, right? So frustrations are still there. The officiating tonight was almost as bad as the other night. And I say almost, which is quite an achievement, man. I could not believe, again, what I saw, tonight. We'll continue the conversations about the protests that the Knicks have put forward. Like we talked about last night, it was a good show. But yeah, more conversations to be had tonight. And also, I wish a happy Valentine's to you and yours as well. Also, we see a lot going on around the league. We'll talk about that later. But these Knicks, man, no bogey today, dealing with calf soreness. Alec Burks got the start. And he looked poor again, tonight. Had his moments, but he's still finding his way. So I'm not going to go in too hard on Alec Burks, but yeah, he needs to pick it up. He needs to step up. Like I said earlier, man, Deuce McBride was poor in the second quarter. We basically just surrendered a huge lead in 4 minutes. It was a 17-3 run in 4 minutes time when Brunson was sitting, at the start of the second quarter. And you just can't give up a lead like that. Brunson had an amazing first quarter. Had something like, I lose count, maybe 20 points in the first quarter. He was on track for like 60 tonight. But Brunson sat with 8 minutes remaining as the game was a blowout. Paolo Banchero, man, he just could not miss. And the Magic just continued to shoot incredibly well from the field. Looked defensively, Precious gave it his all, and Sims did a solid job. The Knicks won the rebounding today, but of course there was a lot of garbage time. We won the steals as well. That lets you know that the Knicks do continue to fight. However, offensively, it was the Achiuwa Brunson show and not much else. Alec Burks starting, right? We needed to get, not the same, but similar production from DiVincenzo, right? We know Alec Burks is a little older. He's not DiVincenzo, but we needed more from him, tonight. One of the games where I've really seen Achiuwa Brunson like really visibly frustrated. It kind of, I'm not going to say dejected, but just completely exhausted and completely ready for the All-Star break. And what I said should be a positive time for the man. A young man still, in the peak of his career now, able to to celebrate this achievement. Knicks Nation, we will be able to take a bit of a breather. We got more content coming, of course, throughout the break, but with no Knicks games, I'm ready for a little bit of a break myself in terms of just watching this kind of product. The good news is we are going to get what they say is Bogdanovich, Isaiah Hartenstein, and DiVincenzo back right after the All-Star break. So that's 3 guys that we should get back straight after the break. Isaiah back, Bogdanovich back, who only missed tonight, and of course DiVincenzo, right? So that's going to be huge. Of course, we still, await the status, the timeline of Julius Randle, and of course OG Anunoby and Mitch as well, right? When the Avengers return, then we'll really start to make some noise. But right now the season's just it's kind of hanging on the health, of these New York Knicks. Try not to get too down because the future's bright, but it's just frustrating right now. We really need to just get weather the storm. And as I said, I believe we are still in the 4th seed. I'm going to check the status right now before we continue. And the Miami Heat have beaten the Philadelphia 76ers 109-104. So that was a really, really close game. And with the Sixers, right behind us, the fact that they lost as well lets us limp into the All-Star break in the 4th seed by half a game, right? And the Indiana Pacemakers are still 3.5 games back as well. So, look, a silver lining, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in Will, Buzzer Beater, Tony, Daniel, and Replay Squad as the chat continues to come through. Wish this could be a more positive night, but of course we'll try and find some positives. But happy Valentine's to you and yours once again. If I was to sit here and say, at All-Star break, the Knicks are in 4th seed, and I didn't say anything else to you at the start of the season, I didn't say anything about trades or injuries, I just simply told you that the Knicks were in the 4th seed at the break, you would have signed up for it, right? So here we are. We've got a great roster, which is deep when everybody gets back. Also, if I told you that we potentially have Mitchell Robinson most likely back before the playoffs as well. Isaiah's going to be back before the All-Star, after the All-Star. And that's just day to day as well. So, yeah, tonight was disappointing from the bench. I thought the starters, did as much as they could, to be honest with you. Brunson, 33 buckets. They were trapping him. They were really doing a great job using their length. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, Anthony Black, etc. But we won the steals, we won the rebounds. They really moved the ball. The Orlando Magic, 26 assists to just 15 for the Knicks. We didn't have anyone to pass to. I mean, everybody was bricking. If they were bricking, they were passive. Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, when they were open, they weren't taking the open shot. And I think that's what frustrated Jalen Brunson tonight. He was literally just running around in a circle, man, running around screens, handing it off, and then needing to run around a screen again to get the ball back. Because no one else could just create a shot, unfortunately. Going to give, Alec Burks a little bit more time, but realistically, we might have a regressed Alec Burks on our hands from the one a few years ago. He is 32 years of age. He was brought in to just be a bench piece, a scorer. I don't know how dependable he's going to be, to be honest with you, down the stretch. Right, I'm going to give him a benefit of the doubt because it's only been 3 games, but it's a far cry from what we'd been getting, before in the past, too. So one, tidbit of frustration I have too, fam, is what we see here, the roster. There's 2 open roster spots, and we literally have guys like Buzzer Beater says, man, in the MASH unit. And I said it after the trade deadline. I said Leon Rose has still got a little bit of work to do. There's guys on the buyout market. There's 10-day contracts now available to be signed. There was no excuse for not bringing in an extra body or 2 right now in this period, right? You can literally sign 10-day contracts. So that, I don't even know if that's nitpicking. That's fair critique, I feel, right? You got guys frustrated, guys banged up. And yes, we're going to get people back after All-Star break, but what's the point in having these 2 open roster spots when you could have just brought somebody in, even for 10 days, right? Taj Gibson dealing with a back concern tonight as well, man. I mean, the man's got to hang it up soon. He's 38 years of age, banging with the young fellas in the post, and he's dealing with all kinds of soreness as well. So, look, Leon Rose, before the next guy goes down, ideally, after All-Star break, try and fill these 2 roster spots, man. Even if it's just 10 days, man. Give these guys some help as well. Tony, what's good, says, we are short-handed. I hope sometime this season we can have the team complete. Yeah, that's the dream, man. That's the Nick dream right now, man. I can't even remember what it was like seeing the squad with Julius Randle and OG. It feels a long time ago, fam. But really looking forward to getting Isaiah, Bogey, and Devo back, because that's going to give us a chance to win some games, right? Before we dive into the grades now and we look at the road ahead, the first game back after All-Star break is at Philly as well. So the team that's half a game back on our tail is the team we have to face, right? Also, I want to bring this up as well, courtesy of SNY, Ian Begley. A little bit of news in terms of what the Knicks' thought process is with the open roster spots, right? And this has me a bit frustrated, but I'll read it out. So Ian Begley, again, SNY, reporting, one avenue the Knicks have been exploring, per people familiar with the situation, is signing one or more of their G League players to a standard contract. This would reward or promote a player or players who have excelled in Westchester, okay? Yeah, I get that. One says, end of the bench dudes. Okay, if that's the case, the first thing I'll say is, why not do that immediately, right? They're literally in the Knicks' backyard, right? Why would you wait weeks to think about it? We literally need the bodies, and we have the spaces. And then he goes on to say something else to keep the eye on is, of course, Taj Gibson's 10-day. If the Knicks want to keep Taj, he's the 13th guy. They need to convert his deal, and they also need to sign at least one more person, to meet the minimum. So yeah, what are you guys thinking after seeing that, right? Look, if their players performing in Westchester, right, I'm not going to get too upset with that. But yeah, the point I raised before, man, we need bodies ASAP. And if you're deciding on this, why not make a decision, real quick, too, fam. So yeah, that's just a bit of news on that front, in terms of maybe why, we haven't brought anybody in yet. So yeah, tonight, Precious Achiuwa, right? He's going to be the first guy up, because he needs to continue to get his flowers, man. He fought, he battled, and man, he's been one of the best Knicks of the first half of this season, included, despite coming in early before the trade period. Precious continues to score well, give us durability, rebounding, and work ethic. Man, the guy is really carving out a future with us, and definitely Tom Thibodeau is happy with this man, and he's given him a lot of minutes, man. 8 of 16 from the field, 50%. Let that sink in. On a night where we were only 41% as a team. Chewy was 50%, so salute. He drilled a 3, 1 of 2 from deep, and 6 of 7 from the free throw. 10 offensive boards, man. 10, 14 total, and 5 assists from the big man, and a season high 23 points. Stand up, Precious Achiuwa, man. Really proud, happy for the man. Despite a frustrating night, he held his head up high, man. He earned his money, tonight. And what a warrior, man, a soldier. He battled, short-handed as well. I'm happy for him to get to this All-Star break, right now. He ain't got no commitments at All-Star weekend. And he can be one of the first and most deserved Knicks to earn this 8-day break, man. 8-day break, So, yeah, Precious has, been amazing since coming in. So it's unfortunate we come into the break losing 4 in a row. Would have been nice, but of course we got screwed in the great Houston screw job. But we wait to see if we can get that replayed. But Precious has definitely helped us win some games, since the trade, of course. We went on a 9-game winning streak after the trade with OG, but right now it's the Precious Achiuwa trade. OG looked amazing. Look forward to him getting back. It's not a serious thing. OG will be back, dare I say, shortly after the All-Star break. He might need to do a little bit of on-court tune-up, but it was a very minor procedure on his elbow, and he'll be back soon, man. But yeah, what do you guys think? A+ for Precious Achiuwa. He earned it. Buzzer Beater says Chewy for the A-. Salute. iStream is given the A. Yeah, represent. Going up against some huge trees in the likes of Wagner Brothers, Paolo as well. Had to continue the game despite garbage time as well, because we didn't even have a bench, man. We need to sign some people, real quick. But yeah, look, looking ahead after the All-Star break, the fact is that we're going to have this man together with the full squad and the health of the other guys. That's what's going to make us even more dangerous, because we know now, through hail, through storm, through rain, that this guy has held us down, right? So imagine when we start to get bodies back as well, and this guy's minutes, can go back to normal regular minutes. That's going to be really, really special. That's going to be huge. Yeah, I hope we re-sign the man, but he's really earning himself a solid contract. The way he's playing for pride. He's playing for the jersey. He's from the New York area, of course. As Will says, salute, we tried. And that is so true for this man as well. He never gives up, right? There were a lot of Knicks that kind of hang their heads a little bit tonight. Josh Hart was one of them. I'll talk about him and his body language. His body language has kind of been a bit frustrating for me. As a leader, as a veteran of this squad, I want Josh Hart's body language to be better. But yeah, a guy like this, a younger guy, Precious, is really showing that he's built for it. Through good and through bad. Yeah, So yeah, I think Precious should be up there with some of the best Knicks of the first half of the season, right? We'll be doing a full review of the first part of this season prior to All-Star weekend. Tomorrow night, we've got Coach Nick B-Ball Breakdown coming on. So we're doing a live stream tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, we'll talk about the good. There's been a lot of good for the first part of this season. And I think Precious Achiuwa deserves to be up there, man. What a ad in that trade. What a pickup as well. Yeah, what's good, Dwight? Yeah, we're going to give it to Hart tonight. We'll talk about him. And I know for players that are used to winning, that this has been a really tough time. A tough period between the 4-game losing streak. Yeah, and just the manner of how we lost. The Laker game was really frustrating, and then we bounced back to beat the G League Memphis team. But then, of course, we ran into the Indiana Pacers and a really, really tough game there, shorthanded. Dallas as well, with no Brunson, where DiVincenzo had to carry us. Yeah, and then, of course, the Houston screw job. And then, of course, tonight, man. But once again, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you for coming through. Replay squad, salute. Smash that like button. The Knicks streets are buzzing, right? The first half of the season is kind of in the books now. We limped to the All-Star break, but we're in the 4th seed with reinforcements coming. And I want to continue to be positive on this note, and that is what an achievement from Jalen Brunson. Coming into the start of the year, last year was a hell of a year to kind of top, and not only has he matched last year's expectations, but he's surpassed them as well. And he's a first-time All-Star. Gold Star is there. Salute to Jalen Brunson. What an incredible first half of the season. We're not even close to being in the position we're in without him. I'm just so happy for the man's legs first, so that they can get a little bit of a break. I ain't worried about Brunson doing some stuff at All-Star. It's glorified scrimmage. It's glorified pickup, 3-point contest, and of course the All-Star game. He's going to come off the bench, but he's basically going to get really 6 to 7 good days of rest for his legs. That's going to be great. He should come back fresh. Hopefully he's got his mind cleared as well. Because I know the 4-game losing streak that we're on, and just getting that mindset right back to winning again, and getting some fellas back, to help. JB started the game incredibly hot, 20 points in the first quarter, man. He was a one-man wrecking crew, and sat with 8 minutes remaining. A+ for Jalen Brunson tonight, 35 minutes. He still put up 33 points, man. Every bit the all-star that New York City has. 6 of 7 from the free throw, 5 of 8 from deep. Incredible early, despite being double, triple teamed, hacked and whacked. He was 11 of 21, and only a -2. I mean, so that's crazy. That lets you know, despite sitting with 8 minutes remaining, the game was double digits at that point. 33 points and only a -2 with just 3 turnovers, 6 assists tonight. So the man's was cooking. And that lets you know when Julius is back, when OG's back, obviously Devo and iHeart, Mitch, this man's going to be unguardable, man. Continues to be unguardable. But, when he swings the ball, at least we're going to have somebody that can make a shot and make the defense pay. Because, I could really see Brunson just look really tired tonight, man. He was like, I know I'm the only one that can really, create a good shot, but I'm just going to have to keep doing it tonight. Everyone keeps passing up a shot. So, guys, what do you think? Jalen Brunson, any words on his first part of the season as well? Buzzer says, I did not see us losing 4 in a row at this part of the schedule. Me too, man. I really thought we could pull out one of them, but just the uncertain nature of the lineups, guys coming in and then out again. Tonight we got a little bit of the other night we got a break with Sims coming back. And then tonight we got a blow with Devo and Bogey out as well. So that's what I mean, where it's probably just messing with everybody's head at this point. I think you could see Brunson kind of really frustrated, because remember, he only just returned from injury as well. And he's had to carry us on so many nights, as well. Now, what Leon Rose did at the trade deadline, in that moment, it was what we needed, and it was a good trade still. We wait to see how the pieces pan out. But without Julius Randle, right, that is the key cog with Jalen Brunson in terms of a younger player in his prime who's an all-star and can make the defense pay. Those other guys can do some things, but then they're not at the level, of course, of a Julius Randle. And he frees up Jalen Brunson a lot also. So I've never missed Julius more than I have at this point. But the good news is that he's checking all the boxes, and the team is very optimistic that he's going to return in March. Not sure of the point in March, but obviously once the reevaluation happens, they're going to give us a new timeline, too, fam. So Buzzer's gone with the A, iStream with an A+. Old head, salute. I wish Tibbs would have let more bench guys get in and not just Toppin. When does Brunson ever get to rest? Tonight, man, we basically had 9 players available, but Charlie Brown was the 9th player that only got minutes late, in garbage time. But he did play Jacob Toppin a little bit. But essentially in the first half, it was just Deuce and Taj Gibson off the bench with the rest of the guys. The unfortunate thing, tonight wasn't even a night we could give Brunson a good rest, because basically there was one quarter that lost us the game tonight, and that was a 19 to 36, 38 second quarter. 19 points to 38 in the second quarter, and it was a 17-3 run to start the second when Brunson was sitting. So it's like, man, we literally cannot even survive right now with Brunson sitting for just 4 minutes. I got some words to say on Deuce McBride later when we get to him. But for now, yeah, it's all about Brunson. Put us in an amazing position to compete and almost win this ball game. And that is, to start the second. The Knicks were up by 10, 11 to end the first. And basically, that lead was just given up immediately, and it's demoralizing, So, yeah, we can only do what we can do. No team around the NBA is missing the level of quality that the Knicks have out in terms of starting with tonight, Devo, Bogdanovic, Isaiah, Randall, Mitch, OG. I mean, it's just insane. The closest thing I've seen this season is basically when we faced the Memphis Grizz, who were missing their top 9 guys. I think that's the closest I've seen a team kind of be decimated, the way we are. But yeah, these guys hold their heads up high. These two tonight, they really beasted. They showed out, and they've had an amazing last 10-15 game stretch. And despite the 4 losses recently and some of the losses, we're still in 4th, and we are because of some of these guys. Things could be worse. Thank God for the 9-game win streak. That really did keep us afloat, man. But of course, we do have Philly, Boston, Detroit, the Pelicans, and the Warriors to finish the month as well. So yeah, really look forward to getting the rest of the guys back. Now let's talk next. Up is going to be Alec Burks. Alec Burks got the starting look, obviously with DiVincenzo out. He really needed to come in and kind of share the load, but really give us a big punch offensively. And yeah, Alex, this is probably his worst game of the 3 games, and he didn't exactly set the world on fire, in the first 2. Obviously his role changed tonight coming into the starting lineup, but yeah, really rusty. 5 of 16, 2 of 6 from deep, a team worst, minus 28, 13 points, 3 boards, and some bad defense. I thought his shot selection was totally fine. He does need to find his shot. Obviously, he's the starting shooting guard tonight. But what I didn't like was his defense. And obviously, some of those shots, there was no arc on it. It was a really flat looking shot, tonight. Maybe he's just got, getting his legs under him. He missed a little bit of time with Detroit. So did Bogdanovic. But yeah, I know he's still figuring out chemistry, still figuring out how to play off Brunson, where to get his looks and that. But the fact that he's played for Tibbs before, I do feel like it shouldn't take long. He does need to assume the kind of quickly role, and that is come in, and help us score off the bench, right? So that we don't get blown out, 17 to 3 in 4 minutes. Deuce McBride was really poor tonight, and I will talk about him. But I really felt like Burks should have started to handle the offense a bit more and be more aggressive. Deuce was passing up a lot of shots late in the shot clock. Buzzer beaters gone with D- for Alec Burks. iStream gone with the C. Salute, guys. Continue along giving us your grades, fam. Let us know in the comment section too. Replay squad, and the chat's buzzing, smashing that like button. Yeah, happy with the pickup still. I'm still looking at the bigger picture, right? I'm going to give Alec Burks 5 to 10 games to figure it out, but he's got to figure it out real quick. Tonight we really needed him. Unfortunately, he didn't really come and produce. Right, he's got to pick up his defense, but he's got to hit shots. Right, so I'm going to give Alec Burks a D. For tonight, really. Team worst. Wasn't hitting shots early, as well. Looked rusty. But we know he's capable of a lot more, right? He's had a solid 1.5 games, I would say, out of the other two in limited size. Tonight was really like, okay, we really, really need you. So I get it. Big shoes to fill with DiVincenzo out. But yeah, you're playing alongside Jalen Brunson. And together he should have carried the bench better as well. So yeah, just evaluating Burks in his role. We needed more. We need more from him. Now, next up, I'm going to talk about Josh Hart. Because Hart obviously had a little slow stretch throughout the first part of the season. Hit his stride. Still has some up and down moments. But as a whole, we need a little bit more from Hart offensively. Tonight, Hart produced with 29 minutes, was 2 of 8 and 0 of 4 from deep. No threes hit, 3 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a -13, 4 points as well. I thought there was a really critical turnover from Hart tonight. He was trying to be aggressive and run the fast break. But he ran into traffic, got blocked or turned the ball over, and that was a key stretch of the game when we lost that lead. And Tibbs was really frustrated. Now, what I really noticed tonight, later in the game, I saw Josh pouting, hanging his head, look frustrated on the bench. And part of me is like, okay, I get it. Like, it's a tough period at the moment, but I need a guy like him to not be so visibly dejected. Keep it straight. You're one of the leaders. You should be one of the veterans of this team. I mean, the Knicks gave you a very, very handsome contract. 18, 19 million. He's been, pretty decent in terms of hustle play. And fighting, right? I never question the fight of Josh Hart, but it's the skill, it's the decision making, and now tonight I saw, some visible frustration creep in. Again, thankfully we're at the All-Star period, and this man can really reflect, right, and also look ahead to the what should be a huge stretch to the end of this season, and we need Josh Hart. Man, we need the best version of him. Be aggressive, but make quick decisions, smart decisions, and don't turn the ball over. Too, I love his physical play. With Grimes out, I think this hasn't been talked about enough, but his defense, his perimeter D is going to be really important to us and the Knicks moving forward. Another wing, especially if OG might miss some time. We're going to need Hart to step up, right? So with that said, man, I'm going to give Hart a D+ for tonight. Frustrating night overall. Once again, I need him to be better with the ball. Josh Hart with 2 turnovers, -13, 4 points as well, 2 of 8, and missed all 4 of his threes as well. So the application's always there, but yeah, he just did not produce and execute tonight. So let's hit on the final starter, which is Jericho Show, Jumpman Sims tonight. We really need, we needed him to come into the starting unit. Obviously, with iHeart out, it was great to get Jericho back after the illness. Jericho, in his start, he played 38 minutes. Tonight, he was 3 of 5. Continued to battle on the glass with Precious. Together, they were a beast. 22 rebounds between the two of them. Jericho got 2 offensive and 6 defensive. Got us an assist and a steal. and 8 points, but was a minus 14. Missed a nice big alley-oop. It was really high, and he just did not execute that one. But yeah, I like Jericho's effort tonight and his activity. Unfortunately, defensively, he lost his man, too many times. Paolo, Franz Wagner, it's a tall task, man, and he was just outworked, tonight, outskilled. But yeah, he does have a tendency to kind of lose his man and the ball, or one or the other. Still a young player. He's working through some things. He's a player that needs more time and more development. But yeah, Jericho, we were really poor defensively, and we let the Orlando bigs, eat too much. Orlando shot, an incredible percentage from the field. They shot 63% from the field, 43% from deep. Right, even with Devo tonight, and maybe even iHeart, we probably didn't even stand a chance. Letting a team shoot 63% and 46%, from deep. That's a lot. So yeah, you guys are ringing out D's for Josh Hart as well. Dwight with Hart with the D. Knicks 26 champs. Salute, welcome in. D for Hart as well. Hart had no heart tonight, says Buzzer. I thought he did hang his head. But I think it's a little harsh. I think he did, he does, try to fight and give you effort. But I dislike, the decision making from Hart. He does leave his feet. He's sloppy with the ball as well. You guys are going with the C for Sims. iStream and Dwight going with the C plus for Jericho. Yeah, you guys agree. Yep. I echo what Buzzer Beater's saying as well. I don't expect a lot out of Sims. He does need more development. Yeah. And really what we're getting for a guy who's the third string center is I think is totally acceptable, I think Sims on most nights, my grades reflect that he gets a pass almost all the time because he's really solid on the rebounding. He sets good screens. What he does make is just kind of young player mistakes, Tonight his head was just not in the game at times, and he lost his man, a couple of times as well. A lot of things that will come with it, more experience, I mean, you're literally guarding all-stars like Paolo, and of course Franz Wagner might be a future all-star as well. So yeah, it was a really, really tough assignment, and I take that into consideration, man. But what he's given us is a third stringer. I think he gets a definite pass for me. Young fella who's still really valuable for us moving forward. He comes in and gives us that effort. Now let's talk about another young fella that gives us effort as well. But what I didn't like from this man, Deuce McBride, again, and this is a period where it's tough for everybody, and I'm just looking for consistency and people to continue to step up. And at the start of the second quarter, Deuce McBride, had a tough assignment to kind of, orchestrate the offense with guys like Burks, Taj, Jacob Toppin on the floor, and Josh Hart. So I prefaced what I'm saying right now with the fact is it's definitely not easy. But yeah, Deuce McBride did underperform early in that second, did pass up a couple of open looks late in the shot clock, and he passed it out to non-shooters, Josh Hart and Jacob Toppin. And not putting it all on him because it was a tough 5-man unit with limited offense. But yeah, Deuce McBride, he's not that floor general. That's when Brunson's off the floor, and I've been saying this for a long time now, and I kept using the playoffs as an example. This is just regular season stuff. So if we literally, give up, a 17-3 run, and a large part of that when Brunson is off the floor, it's not just a knock on Deuce McBride, but it is a clear indication that we need someone a little better, someone better to be the backup to Jalen Brunson in a crunch. And I'm talking playoff ball. Now, Deuce has stepped up in a major way this season. He's a better offensive player. He's a much better shooter as well. And he's taken steps that you want to see from a young player. And I'm glad we signed him and we're keeping him for 3 more seasons on a great contract. But when push comes to shove and you're dealing with, the upper echelon of opponents in the East, and what's expected to be a big playoff push, maybe we look at these 2 roster spots and we bring in a veteran point guard just for some insurance. Patty Mills, Ish Smith, Corey Joseph is out there. Yeah, just some players with some headiness as well, I think, to complement Deuce McBride. So, yeah, we'll look at his numbers, but I'm going to give Deuce a C for tonight. What are you guys feeling? Knicks 26 champs going with the F+, and Dwight with the D. Yep. Marty says the worst was Taj tonight, 9 minutes with no production. Yeah, we'll talk about Taj, but he's literally just given us a body right now. He really should be on the sidelines, man. We'll talk about Taj in a minute. But yeah, Deuce, C for me. With his production, it was so much really the flow of the game more than the numbers. Miles was 2 of 11. 2 of 6 from deep, 2 of 3 from the free throw, 8 points, minus 13. Yeah. Also factoring in more than tonight, the guy's been stepping up and playing bigger minutes. Everybody's really, is dealing with this burden. It's fallen on everybody, and I'm sure he's probably, at the point now. Yeah, he's playing 30+ minutes as well. Yeah, and we're asking him to step up a lot. At some point, a young player can continue to step up until they reach a point where they just either they're gassed or that's their limit, that's their level right now, and they just can't step up anymore. He's given us what he has defensively, which is why, as a GM, a president, you need to be smart about it, fam. And Leon Rose got these 2 open roster spots. Please use them, man. I'm begging you. I'm pleading with you. Sign a veteran or 2 just to have there, just in case, because we're seeing it. Injuries can happen quickly, and they can happen, for a longer period and suddenly as well. And we do have a lot of holes in terms of, okay, do we have a really dependable floor general backup point guard? Right, Alec Burks. Right, I've seen 3 games, but I already kind of felt before that. That Alec Burks ain't that, he ain't that floor general backup point guard anyways. And Deuce McBride can play really well off ball. He's not really a steady floor general that's going to get the offense organized, get guys good looks. Tonight, his shot clock management was really poor from Deuce McBride as well. And a lot of that is credit to the, the Magic defense. When they do crowd you and they swarm you with length. All of that, it's tough, and I get it. That's what I keep saying. It's to do with the competition, right? Deuce is good in his role, but when the level of competition gets tougher, and we're talking about deep playoff push, he's going up against, savvy defenses and savvy veterans, right? Get somebody in, Leon, man. Buzzer says, we need a vet point guard on a 10-day, at least for now. Yep, 100%. You agree. And I think it's really obvious to see, man. Not only that, but we do need to sign one more person as a league minimum. So I don't know why Leon Rose is dragging his feet, really. The Houston game literally came down to the screw job call late. We could have won that game with some extra help. There's a lot of veterans out there, man. Will says Clyde's endorsement of Ish is enough for me. Yeah, salute. Some of these names are changing, but some of the names available are, Corey Joseph, Ish Smith, Korkmaz, is a guy who's apparently talking to some NBA teams. He came out and confirmed that he's going to stay in the NBA. I'm not a big fan of Corey Joseph, but to be honest, I wouldn't mind it as a third guy. Right, the guy's really experienced. He can handle the ball. He's strong handling the ball as well. Book Knight, I'm not really a fan of. Thaddeus Young got signed. Frank Ntilikina would be a no. No for me. Kevin Knox, I wouldn't be mad at it for one of the spots. But yeah, there's more point guards out there as well. And there's, the buyout market. So March 1st is the period where you need to be on an NBA roster to be available for the playoffs. So look out for the end of Feb. Well, hopefully Leon does something sooner. Knicks 26 champ says we're too short-handed not to have a floor general on the roster. Yeah, you said it exactly. And whilst this might be a little bit of a reach, the fact that we were up 10 points when Brunson went to the bench, to start the second, had we had a little bit more help, maybe we push this game and it's more competitive. Maybe we have a chance. But yeah, the Houston game is one that we could have, taken as well. But yeah, what I've got the biggest issue with is if what, is talked about reporting Ian Begley from SNY is if the Knicks have been exploring, elevating a player from Westchester as a reward or promotion, why haven't we done it already? Right? These guys are literally in our backyard. So, as Buzzer Beater says as well, man, 10 days are available now. There's no excuses for not bringing somebody in. But I'm not putting it all on Leon because I feel like maybe he's consulted Tibbs, and Tibbs deserves some of the wrath as well, because he's probably like, you know what, I don't want a new face. I'm not going to trust them. I trust Deuce. I trust, the players I'm familiar with. But, he continues to run these guys big minutes, and they're feeling the crunch, They really are feeling it, man. And I do feel like Leon's just got to overrule sometimes, fill these roster spots, get these bodies in. Right. I don't know any other franchise who's in the 4th seed and literally a chance to get into the 2nd seed. And we're already stretched with injuries. And we're playing, God love him, Taj Gibson, who's 38 years of age, coming off his couch. Right. There's literally 1,000 other NBA or ex-pros out there that are younger, could give us more, size and maybe even, more minutes, more production. And that's no knock on Taj. That's just, once again, Tibbs just going with what's familiar with him. But yeah, I think we're making a mistake. Like Taj can't play any more than 8 minutes now without, hurting his back. I mean, man, it's literally, it really is becoming a joke. Right? It was a cute story. It was feel good. It was sentimental, but it really is becoming a joke now. That Leon Rose really needs to act like a professional president now. And yeah, if they want to extend Taj for the rest of the season, I'm okay with that. But use the other 2 roster spots, right? And put Taj all the way to the end of the bench, man. 15th man, wearing suits, wearing street clothes. Yeah, I just can't do it anymore with watching Taj out there with 2 open spots. Yep. Buzzer says first order of business is we need someone who can score the ball and take pressure off Jalen. Yeah, DiVincenzo has been that guy stepping up, and then OG and Randall. But yeah, bringing in Bogey, he's by far been the best pickup of him and Burks. I think he's going to be huge for us at points down the stretch of the season. But yeah, I think we could bring in another dude. Korkmaz would be an option I'd look at. Danilo Gallinari can give you 10 points at least from the backup 4 spot. He can shoot threes at least. Somebody with a clear skill set. Now let's next up, let's talk about Toppin and Taj, right? But with Taj, once again, I said he's given it his all, but he's got limitations. So tonight, Taj, and I won't be surprised if we do actually let him go. Maybe we fill all 3 roster spots, or maybe we fill 2. We keep 1 open, and we still let Taj go. Right? Really, I think everything's up in the air. It's a case of can Taj play significant minutes in the playoffs? And is somebody out there better who is younger and also able to give us more than Taj? Now tonight, Taj was 9 minutes, 0 points, 0 free throws, 0 rebounds, a steal, and a turnover, man, with a donut and -4. So yeah, tough 9 minutes, man. But I feel for Taj because tonight was a matchup that's not favourable. Everybody has a favourable matchup, even if you're a 38-year-old. There are certain guys that aren't going to really be quick and physical and aggressive. But tonight, playing Franz Wagner, Paolo, and the other bigs, even slow-mo Joe Ingles out there, got a little bit more speed. So, man, the quicker we just make Taj an assistant coach, and he can kind of hang them up, I think the better for everybody. But that's not to say he hasn't helped us, throughout this stretch again. We've needed everybody to step up, 9-game winning streak, everything to get us to where we are in the 4th spot. I salute everybody, but the time has come now where, we need to think smartly throughout this All-Star period and get some reinforcements. So what do we give for Taj tonight? Dwight says Toppin was a bit nervous to start, but he loosened up and showed me something. We need to work with this kid. Yeah, 100. Yeah, I liked what Toppin did late in the game. It's amazing what you see when a player just plays freely, no doubt. But in a way, that's what separates players, NBA players, from players that don't sometimes make the NBA for very long. But whenever you're playing meaningful minutes in an NBA game, the pressure and the intensity is way higher. When the sting has gone out of the game, you start to see players really play loose and play free, hit shots, even process the game better as well. Jacob definitely finished the game strong. But considering Taj gave us a donut, he did get us a steal. I thought that was a really good steal, which was early in the game as well when we were really playing well. We had a lead. But man, the fact that Taj is going up against really, really poor matchup, D-, right, for Taj, right, knowing his limitations and how banged up we are, he's really given us what he has, but unfortunately, it's not much, at this time. So I think that's. Let's hit on Jake. Jake Toppin tonight was 17 minutes, 4 of 7, and 1 of 3. Like Dwight said, 2 free throws, that was good. 4 rebounds, 2 of them were offensive, 11 points, -17. Great opportunity to learn. Happy for the man to get extended minutes. Like the chat said earlier, he should have played a little more. Really, he should have played against Houston. Should have played in some of these other games. So I think, whilst Tibbs don't have the biggest confidence, when you're that stretched. And Jacob has been doing really good work in the G. So he's deserved this opportunity. And he should have been playing more as well. But yeah, especially later in the game, right, when the game was kind of blown out. But he got in there. He did some things. Salute to him. CAA, what's good? Yep. I think Taj, there's a real chance we don't extend Taj. And maybe we use 2 more roster spots and we just keep 1 free. And we stay below the cap, I think. But yeah, I got love for him in terms of the play. D-, F, whichever way you want to go, man. But he is, at the end of his playing career. He's helped us throughout this stretch, but you know what? We made it, right? And let's now look ahead, right? Let's talk about what to do. Let us know if there's some specific players you want to get in here, right? We've got 2 spots available. We've got some guys, man. Robin Lopez. I would look at Gallo. Playoff experience, can stretch it. We don't know if Bogey and OG Anunoby, might miss a game or 2 in the playoffs, right? Having a veteran like Danilo could be decent, just as a viable buyout vet. Korkmaz is a young bull. He can run, he can shoot. He's got a little bit of length at the shooting guard spot. Metu, Kevin Knox, I wouldn't be against that. Although we know that's not a fit with Tibbs. Thaddeus Young has been signed already, so it is what it is with that situation. But I'm about to bring up the standings right now, and I will look at the games, the action tonight. We'll keep it buzzing, fam. We're at the All-Star break now. Shout out to us for making the 4th spot. But we got work to do. Here we go, ladies and gents. As I bring this one up on the bigger screen. So this is the East as we make the All-Star break. We are half a game ahead of the Sixers still, and we play them next game. So that is huge. The Bucks just 2 games out of 3rd. And the Cavs are kind of running away with the 2nd seed right now. Their schedule is really soft, man. Soft like Charmin. And we are 3.5 back of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 35-17, man. They've got a crazy all-star player in Donovan Mitchell with some good role players as well. So at this point, without our full squad, we're no better than the Cavs. They deserve to be where they're at. But the Bucks are the ones that I'm really circling. I think is a very real possibility, fam, that we are going to finish in the 3rd spot if we can get everybody back healthy in time. What do you guys say? Yep. Also, I think I like what CAA is saying here too with the Robin Lopez pickup. Right, he's right up our wheelhouse because Isaiah, what he's dealing with is day to day. Achilles tendonitis, man. We know if Tibbs is going to continue to play him 35 plus after the All-Star break, Mitch won't be back at that point. We're still going to have to play Isaiah heavy minutes. And what might happen? The Achilles tendonitis might continue to creep up. So why not get in another big, even if he's a big stiff, like Robin Lopez, just somebody who can deter shots, gobble up rebounds, and just eat up space, man. Just eat up the paint, and be insurance. Yeah, I think we need somebody like that, man. We had Robert Randolph give out some fake sources that the Knicks had a meeting with DeMarcus Cousins, but we know that's a bunch of baloney. But somebody like a DeMarcus Cousins, a big body, would be very much appreciated for me, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. And I think Sims is still very solid as the 3rd string. I think Precious's best spot is the backup 4. I think when Randall is back, Precious should really fit into that backup 4 spot where he's good. He could stretch it out a little. He can continue to rebound well. And I really think, Isaiah is the main center, and obviously Mitch and Sims. But at this point, we need to get a couple of guys with these roster spots filled. But 4th seed, that's a lock until after All-Star break, but maybe not for long, because we do have to head to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, and play a huge game. Fortunately, though, the good news coming is that Dante DiVincenzo, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Isaiah Hartenstein, according to Tom Thibodeau today, says that those 3 will be back after the All-Star break. We look at the schedule, we have 8 days, basically, because, those guys missed tonight. Obviously, those guys didn't play tonight, so they essentially get 8 days to heal up and be back and be ready to go to war. Man, it's going to be crazy. I would have loved us to act earlier too, fam. Bismack Biyombo, Gorgie Jiang, some physical bruises out there. We need some physicality that we miss with Juju. No Kevin Knox. I feel you on that. I don't think we have to worry, though, because I think Tibbs won't sign off on that, man. Christian, salute. Taj gets cut once the whole team is around. It sounds like Ragu, Hartenstein, and Bogey should be back after the break, and we'll take anything health-wise. Yep, 100%. Yep. Obviously, with those 3 guys, even at Philly, I think we have a really good chance. So I'll bring up today's action. Philly lost to the Heat. And obviously they're dealing with Embiid out for extended period of time. So I'm not worried about... I'm really not worried about, giving up the 4th spot, as long as we can continue to at least, go 500 and pull off some wins. Now the Heat might be a concern. They might start winning, right? They did beat Philly today. As we see here, 109 to 104. The Miami Heat are putting together a little win streak right now, so that might be a little concern. We've seen that movie before, in terms of the Heat making a late run to climb the standings. So that's something to watch out for. But with the Sixers, and just with Maxey and Buddy Hield and the crew they've got, they're really in a tough spot as well, in terms of trying to compete, short-handed. Their roster really is not that deep. They're going to have to play guys like, Nicholas Batum. They're playing Tobias Harris a lot, Kelly Oubre. Even with just DiVincenzo, Hartenstein, and Bogey back, we're still a better team. We're still a better roster than Philadelphia. But if you get OG and you get Randall back, it ain't even close to me. I think we really are the second or third best team in the East, the second or third best roster when healthy. Obviously, the Bucks are the other one that are sliding, man. And they're a real chance to be caught, man. The Pacers picked up a narrow win, so they are only three games behind. 2 losses, 2 wins, a couple losses, 3 losses, and 2 less wins, than us. But we're here, we made it, and we've got some health coming back. Anyone else that you want to see us bring in? I definitely want us to see us get a point guard and another big man. Point guard and another big man. And I do think there's going to be more buyouts. I think so. We ain't limited to just these names. After March 1st, anyone who's on a roster is available for the playoffs. So I'm going to think that means, some prideful veterans, on some teams that aren't getting any burn. They might start to request a buyout. they might go to their teams. And two examples I'll give you is two guys on the LA Clippers, PJ Tucker and Bones Highland. Those guys actually kind of got a mini suspended today, for they got left behind because the team wasn't happy with their with their attitudes as well. So I know PJ Tucker has been trying to get out of LA ever since they got that big trade. He ain't getting any burn. And look, Bones Highland is young. I think they would be stupid to buy him out. They should have traded him. But he would be an unbelievable pickup if we could just get Bones Highland on a buyout. That would be big time. I do think maybe a Paddy Mills might get bought out with Atlanta, but that might be wishful thinking. They're still kind of competing for the play-in. But yeah, there might be some more people. Buzzabita says I vote for Mook, Robin, and a point guard from Westchester. The funny thing is here with Mook Morris, man, I thought I saw somewhere that he's going to sign. Yeah, I think he might still be out there, but he might be teeing up a signing with somebody. I think we'll see. I think if he goes somewhere, he wants to get real minutes. Unfortunately, if he comes here, I think he'll be like third string. I think with Precious as the backup for Bogey there as well. I think Leon and Tibbs might, they might let him know what his role is, and then he might want to go to a team where he can get more minutes, fam. Kyle Lowry, of course, went to Philly. So that is a situation to watch. But yeah, I don't think he swings the needle in any kind of way, too, fam. So that is the good, the bad, and the ugly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep this one shorter tonight because it was a disappointing night, but we take the bigger picture in hand. We're moving forward now in the 4th seed. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, with a live stream with Coach Nick from B-Ball Breakdown. We'll just talk about the Knicks season so far, right? Where do we stack up? What do we have to do to make this push, to get this run, right? And get these New York Knicks into at least the 3rd seed. That would be amazing. 4th seed is what I predicted, and that's what I think is a real possibility, right? But the health of Julius Randle and OG are the big factors, man. If we can get the full squad back, including Mitchell Robinson, man, all bets are off, man. We could go all the way, baby. But this thing is such a fine margin, man. It's a tight rope in the East with other teams dealing with health. The Bucks sliding. Philadelphia's big cat with Joel Embiid dealing with that meniscus, man. We don't even know how he's going to look when he's back. So the East is still wide open, and I'm feeling our chances could be great this season. But if we don't have the right health, man, it'll be tough. It'll be tough. But we need to take our chances. Leon Rose, step up, right? Call on some help. Fill these roster spots available right now. We need some backup point guard help. We need another big as well. And we'll see what happens with Taj too. But yeah, peace out everybody. Knicks Nation, we here. Join us tomorrow night if you can, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I will continue live streaming throughout the All-Star break. But once again, congratulations to Jalen Brunson. This weekend is really all about him. Julius Randle, of course, we salute you because you deserve to be there as well, right? You deserve to play in the game. Unfortunately, the injury happened, but we need Juju back for the stretch of the season, man. He can continue his All-NBA or All-Star form, right? He's kind of like the Hulk, Julius Randle. If anybody can come back, it's him in great form with this shoulder injury. And I know Julius ain't going to want to miss a beat, man. He's going to want to be back to help out his fam and Jalen Brunson, man. So let's get it. Fourth seed, and let's get some health back. Peace, health, happiness, blessings